Hey tricksters, Patrick here, and today we are doing an AMA, Ask Me Anything. Everything I'm going to tell you today is from my own point of view, my own experience, my own perspective. I've been getting comments and then, people saying, oh, the industry's terrible, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I admit there's shit in the industry. There's bad, negative things. Of course there is. The point of me doing these videos, I like to shed the light on the opposite of what we see all the time. I'm here to tell you that it's not all doom and gloom. It's not all shit cakes and... Ew, what's a shit cake? Is that like a cake that's made out of shit? He's got his bone, look. This is his favorite. If you've been watching my videos, and you like what you see, subscribe to my channel. Not only that, hit that notification bell so that you get notified when new videos come out. And if this is the first video you're watching, subscribe anyway, because trust me, you're gonna like it. And give her a like. Okay, let's start with the first question. Is it safe to work in this industry, and how are people generally being treated? Or are there some taboo, and is there a darker side behind it? Yes and yes. Hold on, I'm gonna put my dog down. Is it safe to work in the industry? That's a broad question and it has many answers. In my experience from the past and from what I do now on OnlyFans, yes, it is a safe experience. I was surrounded by professionals. Is there a darker side behind it? Yes. As I mentioned in another video, it's like you have your professionals, you have the people that are in it, they're in it to win it, they're in it to work, and that's what they do. But as you work down the tiers of professionalism, it gets shadier and darker. And yes, of course, there's a lot of shit that happens in the industry. If you find yourself there, get the fuck out. Next question. Do you ever fall for a co-star? Ever hook up with a co-star for fun? Yes and yes. If you watch When in Rome, Filippo Romano and I had a torrid love affair. It was we had a short-lived little fling that happened. It was difficult because he lived in Italy and I was living in LA. Ever hook up with a co-star for fun? Hell yeah! That's what happens. Like when you're on camera and you're having a good time and it super clicks, then why would you not hook up off camera? Why do some performers seem to have a superiority complex against workers who use rent sites? If both of you are having sex in exchange for financial benefits, safer performers doing it on camera, where does the attitude come from? You're doing the same thing. So what we're talking about here is like porn stars versus rent boys, I guess. And what you're asking is, why do some porn stars have an ego over rent boys? I guess, do they look down on rent boys? I didn't really encounter that in my experience. But this does open up a further discussion of, are all porn stars rent boys? Are all rent boys porn stars? And what's the difference and what's the connection? That's a conversation we can have, because I know for myself, I was an adult entertainer, and though I dipped my toe in the rent boy experience, that wasn't something that I pursued. How does one even go about getting into the industry? I mean, things have absolutely changed. When I did it in the early aughts, this is like 2003, let's say, it was the studio system. Everything was like DVDs. The internet was so new. So really you had to get in with a company. Nowadays, yes, you can be in your little town and set up your camera and start an OnlyFans and make a living. If you do want to go the studio route nowadays, it's really easy. Everyone has a website. You can just go hiring models. There's usually a tab somewhere where they're hiring, looking for models. You can send them all your information. It's so much easier today than it was back in my day. Do you have difficulty dating given your line of work? No. When you come from a place of just honesty and openness, where there's no shame, there's no guilt, and you're just an open book, people are going to be attracted to that, because if you don't have a problem with it, they won't have a problem with it, because you're being completely transparent and authentic about it. You are who you are, not what you do. Are the scripts sent out to you from your agent's managers for you to go over, or do you just show up and hope for the best? in that you're not casted in the gag scene, gangbang, spanking scene, etc. I love that you assume that people don't want to be in the gag scene, gangbang, spanking scene. Maybe that's what people want to be in. If we're talking about scripts, I have in my hands, look at this. These are scripts that I wrote. So I fancied myself a script writer. I can't believe how many there are. This one's called Filthy Rich. There's a lot of words, look. So I wrote one called Cream-Filled Twinkies. I gotta read these and see if they're any good. I mean, do you think they're good? Maybe some of them are good. I don't know. So Little Big League was a huge hit for Rascal Video, so then I wrote and starred in Little Big League 2, Second Inning, a script by Eddie Stone. Oh, that's what I'm gonna do. I'll do porn star bedtime stories, and I'm gonna read my scripts and post it, because I can't post it on YouTube because there's too much sex. Anyway, sorry, back to the question. Are the scripts sent out to you from your agent's managers? I mean, they're not sent to your house. You come, you pick up the script, and then you gotta learn the script. A good script doesn't have a lot of dialogue, gets to the point, and strings the action together. But no, you don't just show up and then hope for the best with the scripts. I mean, the scripts are written with the cast members in mind. Like if somebody is not into water sports, you're not going to be cast into a pissing scene, a pissing car wash scene like I did in Bolt. Okay, next question. A very big part of my identity is that I'm an addict in recovery, and I know that a lot of addicts, straight or gay, to turn to prostitution and making porn, which is just prostitution that is filmed. I don't know if making porn is prostitution that is filmed. Prostitution is having sex for money. I think that's where the similarity ends. I don't think porn and prostitution are the same. And there's no judgment for either. Both are totally legit. But for me, it's not the same. It falls under the umbrella of sex work, for sure. But so I am pro pornography, but I feel icky when I imagine the porno makers prey on people in active addiction to make their films. 100%, of course. Does that happen? Yeah, of course. But I mean, that's the scum of the earth. I mean, that's the scum of the industry. That's the bottom of the barrel. These people are pariahs. In what light is homosexual porn seen within the industry in comparison to heterosexual porn? Gay porn, straight porn. In terms of the industry, it's one big family. For example, in Las Vegas, there's the big porn convention, and at the convention, it's all the gay porn stars, all the straight porn stars, and the intermingling is just there. You have more in common because you're both working in the industry. So there's that camaraderie that happens, like you're all part of the same family. So you're all in the same industry and there's an acceptance and an understanding. You're like, oh, I get you. You're my people. I got it. Hey, Patrick, I have always wondered why condoms are still being used even though the guys are extensively tested, blah, blah, blah. Are they? I don't see porn with condoms. I don't. I mean, does it exist? Back in my day, condoms were absolutely a necessity because this was before PrEP. They had the medication for HIV to keep everything under control, but there was no PrEP, there was anything like that. So it was more serious still back then, HIV. I mean, it's still serious now, but you can control it more and you can prevent it more now. Back then, it was all about condoms, and bareback porn was very taboo. Everything is bareback, I find. I don't see condoms anywhere. I don't know. Maybe that's just what I'm watching. I don't know. Considering what they do for a living, how many of them get along with their families? With all of the stigma and taboo surrounding the industry, usually coming out to your family as a sex worker is not a comfortable conversation, if you even do it at all. Parents aren't stupid. I mean, they know. You just don't talk about it. I mean, that's just the sad reality of it, is usually they know because you've told them or they figured it out, and you usually just don't talk about it and pretend like it doesn't exist. Rare instances, there is support from the family, which I think is wonderful, and then a lot of cases the family doesn't know because they don't want to know. So they're not going to dig any deeper than that, you know. But yeah, it's sad. I wish there was more support. Thank you guys for writing in your questions. That was amazing. I'm always here to talk. Write me questions, ask me things. I love answering all of these questions. And I love that we're having this open dialogue about the adult industry now. Stay in touch with me. Make sure to go to patrickmarano.com and sign up for my newsletters that come out weekly, and they've got special offers for you and stories and tidbits and lots of fun stuff. So that's the best way for us to stay in touch. Okay, if you're watching this in real time, I am off to Europe for 2 weeks. So I'm not gonna be posting for 2 weeks, but don't worry, there's tons of content on my channel, like this video, right here. And I'll see you when I'm back. Mwah!